with the police department, the Hudson Police Department, to create a monthly meeting for seniors to attend and help to address issues like fraud and things where seniors are often targeted, so that they have a place where they can bring concerns to the police directly, and police can give guidance on how best to handle it. And they can also identify patterns if certain companies are targeting seniors. We would be able to address that. So we're really trying to create more relationships between the city agencies and the seniors to provide more support for them. So I don't know if anyone has any questions for me or anything like that.
Yeah, I had a quick question in regards to the ombudsman program. I know you mentioned folks should contact you if they were interested, but provided the service, I think, well, I guess rather, how could the city better help promote this initiative?
That's a really excellent question. People can reach out directly to the regional ombudsman. Her name is Gloria Murray. She's based in Poughkeepsie. But her and I are really working closely together to create a supportive community of people who are advocating. So that's why I indicate people could reach out to me. In terms of the city, if people, I mean, anyone who wants to become more involved and write up about what's happening and spread the word more, that would be really helpful. The Senior Center is working to increase our capacity for volunteers to come in and help. So people are offering to coordinate volunteers and things like that. So the city could help in that way if somebody wanted to either volunteer to be an ombudsman or volunteer to reach out to people and help give them some information and direct people in that way. That would be really helpful.
Thank you.
Any other questions? Nobody else? All right. Well, thank you, Robin, for the great job you're doing. And, you know, we definitely are supporting you, and, you know, anything you need, you know, get in touch with either one of us. I'm sure everybody's involved and concerned. But just a great work that you're doing, and it's definitely noticed.
Thank you, Malachi.
No problem. Nick, are you about ready? Are we still
Yep, I'm here. I just got to unmute myself. Okay. So yeah, we've got a good crowd here. So I'll just quickly say hi to everybody. Thanks, Malachi. Thanks for rescheduling. I know we had a few aldermen who were out last week, and so it worked good for me anyways to do this week. But I've got a pretty quick review for you because we're still kind of in all the craziness of summer. And as everybody knows, we were not able to follow through with our typical Oakdale summer camp. And so we've done this potpourri of other program offerings and services to the community. And the main thing that I would just like to kind of update everyone on and fill everybody in on is how big of a success it's been, considering what we thought was going to happen. I mean, this was a summer that was planned out basically in 2.5 weeks after the governor let us know what the restrictions are and the fact that camps could open. And I thought it was just going to be a totally difficult, chaotic, crazy summer. And it has been difficult, but the end result and the programs that have been offered and the services that have been offered to youth in our community has just been incredible. And I want to just start out by thanking all the staff and all the community members and parents who have helped out, because it's just been an incredible summer. And we've got a couple weeks to go, but it's just been incredible. We've for those who don't know, the youth center has been open, basically serving a small group of 20 core youth during the day, and then older teens in the evening, abiding by all the New York State standards for numbers of youth in groups, structured groups, going by New York State and CDC guidelines for coronavirus. And all of our staff have just stepped up and really offered something that we never thought we were going to be able to do. We've never opened the youth department in the summer or the youth center in the summer, but we did it. And we've heard back from the families that it was such an essential service for them. And so that's been really great. And I've been able to check in here daily, and it's just been really, really great to see. And in the evenings, being able to keep kids off the street during the summer is something we've always wanted to do. And having the gym open for basketball and some video games and food for kids in the evenings has just been a really great thing. So that's been happening. Vanessa Bear, our program coordinator, has been running satellite programs out of 4 sites, out of Oakdale, Charles Williams Park, the waterfront, and geez, where's the last site? Some things have been happening actually at the youth center too, because we have a video program that's going on here in the new green screen that got built on the front of the building. I don't know if everybody has seen that as they've driven by, but as a collaboration with a program with the Hudson Area Library, we built a I guess it's 24 foot by 8 foot green screen where anyone in the community can come and shoot a video and utilize that technology with all the great software that people can access free on their phones, and have a green screen backdrop on their project, on their TikTok video, on their YouTube post, whatever it is. So it's a really cool thing, and we're doing video programs directed around that. But so we've had these satellite programs going on, and we've never done anything like that before, but it really, our staff and everyone pulled it off amazingly. And so we've been doing fishing, canoeing, dance, writing. It's just been an amazing array of programs. When I sum it all up at next month's meeting, I'll give you guys a total breakdown of all the programs that were offered, and we'll have photos and the whole 9 yards. But it's really been incredible to see, and the staff just really did such an amazing job pulling it all together, as I said. And then we have the Youth Ambassadors, which is also a totally new program. And as I told you guys before it started, in June, the goal was to try to basically have a group of young adults and teens who would work for us, who could basically go out and get the pulse of youth in the community. We're very concerned that we weren't offering our typical summer camp, which serves over 200 youth every summer, that youth would just be on the streets, getting in trouble, not social distancing, not wearing masks. And so this ambassador program basically put our staff out there to check in with youth, to give snacks, waters, masks, and just do daily check-ins to see how everybody's doing. And it was a really surprising thing, and we got a lot of interesting data back. The big thing that really surprised all of us was that without the traditional summer programs going on, both at the school district and at Oakdale, we did.
Nick, I can't hear you. I don't know if it's just me.
Same here.
Yeah, same here.
Yeah, not around. Can't hear anything.
Cut out.
Uh-oh. Nick. Oh. Oh boy.
Can you guys hear me now?
All right. You back. Yes, sir.
Okay. Apparently the internet's going down at the youth center, so I'm on my mobile hotspot now. So hopefully that will, hopefully that'll keep us up. But somebody raise their hand or something if I go out again. What was the last thing you guys heard me say?
about the backdrop that you had.
Oh, okay. So you guys didn't hear anything about the ambassadors?
No, we heard about
Oh,
the
yeah.
ambassadors. You were
Oh,
saying that we're surprised about some things.
Yeah.
Okay.
The big thing was youth were not out on the streets in the numbers that we thought they would be. I guess what we ended up finding out was youth really weren't coming out until later on, 5 or 6 in the evening, and then we would get a lot of numbers of youth out, hanging out in different places. And so it was very different than we thought. Because Oakdale was open, we did have a larger group of youth just coming to be at the beach, either with their families or on their own. But that was a surprise to us. And so the ambassadors ended up taking on a lot of other responsibilities, being part of our food program. I think someone may have, I'm getting a lot of feedback. Someone may still have their mic on. Maybe Eileen. Oh, there we go. And so the Youth Ambassadors have just been an incredible organization, helping out in ways that we never thought they could with the food program. They've been doing polls. They've been helping with the satellite programs. And so we're actually looking at keeping them on through the fall as a continuing program. The beach has been open. We didn't open on 4th of July, but we got open by the weekend after that. We got 12 lifeguards, new lifeguards trained, and 4 returning lifeguards on staff, and 5 returning lifeguards, sorry. And, you know, again, I thought that it was just going to be such a mess bringing these lifeguards on at the last minute. We didn't have the full lifeguard and summer program funded because of the issues that you all know about with the budget from the previous year. But we were able to pull together the money for it. And for the first time, I think in 7 years, from what I can see, we've had a full lifeguard staff at Oakdale. It's been really amazing. So from 11 a.m. to 7 p.m. daily, the beach has been open, which is not something that citizens of Hudson have been able to count on in years past. And this year, we were able to do it. We've got 4 returning lifeguards who ended up kind of sharing the responsibilities of directors, waterfront directors. They got all their training, and it was, you know, lots of little kinks to work out, but in general, it's been incredible. And having that consistency of having the beach open, we've just heard back from the community that it's been such a big thing for so many families to be able to do that. And now we know we've never really been able to account for what it looks like budgetarily and in terms of capacity to run a full lifeguard program for the summer. And so it ended up being a really great thing. And the group that's out there is a real team. A lot of them are young and excited. And so it's looking like we'll actually have a great group moving forward. Very diverse. We got our first Bangladeshi lifeguard at Oakdale, which is really exciting. Better ratio of females and males. And so it's not only did it work out for the summer, but it looks like it's going to be a sustainable process for years to come, which is really exciting. And, you know, a lot of that is a result of support from Friends of Hudson Youth. You know, the Polar Plunge, in the end, since we didn't have the money in the budget for lifeguards this summer, money from the Polar Plunge and from Friends of Hudson Youth was able to be reallocated to pay for these lifeguards, to make sure that we could have those hours covered and that we could bring them on. And so that was a really big thing. So we've got to, as we always do, thank Friends of Hudson Youth for that and all the other contributions that they've made to all the programs and the ambassadors program. It's really been an incredible thing to help us get this summer going. And then the great other addition to the beach this summer that a lot of people have seen is the umbrellas, which came through Friends of Oakdale, and I think through support from the tourism department. And so instead of gridding off the beach with ropes like some other beaches had to do for social distancing, we have these beautiful umbrellas that get put up every day and taken down every day, and that provide a natural social distancing kind of grid for everybody. And it's worked better than I ever would have imagined. It's been great. And again, we've just gotten so much good feedback on how people love those umbrellas, and just the look of the beach has been such an improvement. The numbers of we don't keep public attendance records at Oakdale. I think it's something we need to start to do, but the public attendance at Oakdale this summer has been exponentially higher than anything we've ever seen. It's just been incredible how many people are coming to the beach. We actually, one Sunday evening, we actually had to shut down the beach because there was so many people there that the lifeguards couldn't actually safely guard all the people there. And so that's a really, we've never had to do anything like that before, but they made the call and it was a safety issue, and I backed them on it. And it just speaks to how popular Oakdale is right now and how excited people are about everything that's happening there. Food distribution. We're right now running it once a week, Providence Hall, from 5 to 6:30. That's a program that we're really always trying to figure out. It started when the youth department shut down, and we were looking at how we could serve the community. And while we had originally planned on scaling that back as we started programming, as we started to do that, the feedback from the community was, no, you can't pull back on this. People are depending on this food. And while there are other sources of food and other places people were getting food, I think people are still taking a big financial hit from not working, from losing jobs, from all the disruptions from COVID. And so we've been scaling it back consistently, and something we're going to be really looking at in the next month or two is, if we want to continue that, how we can do it in a sustainable way, what partners we can bring in to help us with that, volunteers, because it is very difficult to run the food program while we're doing all this programming. But it's a very difficult thing because the community has spoken pretty loudly that it's a very necessary thing for a lot of people still. So that's one we're really looking into how we can continue to do that in a sustainable way. The bike co-op, if folks have been by Oakdale, they'll notice that the project we've been working on for over 3 years now has finally come into fruition. And there's a bike co-op in half the garage at Oakdale. Twice a week, they're offering group rides for youth. And then we're also doing bike mechanic skills, getting kids bikes, fixing them up and giving them helmets and lights and locks. And it's been a really amazing thing that we've been trying to do for a long time. And again, there's this strange thing where through COVID, we've had to redirect and prioritize different things. And all of a sudden the bike co-op is up and running. We've gotten some generous donations to help us with that through Friends of Hudson Youth and individuals who come in to support us. We got the outdoor bike fixing station as kind of an addition to that, which I think maybe Dominic's on this call if I recognize that phone number. Dominic played a big part in helping to get the outdoor bike fixing station, which we put in the ground outside of the bike co-op. And so yeah, that's another great new addition that's going to keep right on going in the fall, and hopefully just going to be a great new addition to the community from now on.
Nick, I'm sorry, man. I noticed the beautiful crosswalk too. Has that been
Yes.
pretty beneficial?
So that we really have to thank Maya for, because Maya really pushed on that. And it's always been a safety need. And, working with Peter Bujanow and the DPW and just saying this is something we have to do. And they did it. The DPW came through. They put the new crosswalks in. So now if you come down from either side, there's a place that you can cross from either side of the road, either to the north or the south of Oakdale. There's a crosswalk coming in. And we're looking at doing more to kind of designate that area as a slow area so that people really slow down going through there. And I think there's also a new stop sign put in at the top of the hill to keep people from speeding going through and up there. So that's really a big thanks to Maya for really talking about that for a while and really following through to make sure that it happened.
Yeah. Just allowing foot access from children, families to Oakdale and back has been on the radar for quite a while. So thank you, Nick and DPW and everybody who's supported that effort.
Very nice addition.
So moving forward, the youth center and the programs that are running here are ending this Friday. It looks like we'll probably be continuing to offer teen hours in the evening, at least until the 21st. So there'll still be that space for basketball and food and video games to make sure that we're trying to provide as much space as possible for teens in the evenings, older teens, to be here in those important hours, keeping kids off the streets. So daytime ends Friday, evenings ends on the 21st. All of the satellite programming runs through the 21st. And so end of next week, all the satellite programs will close down. The beach, we just figured out this morning, is going to stay open till the 31st. And so we were able to kind of figure out that we can fund that through the 31st, and then we'll close down for the summer. Hold on one second. I'm getting a call from the lifeguard right now. If I could just put everybody on hold just because it's a lifeguard, I want to answer this.
Yeah, no problem, Nick. Yeah, Maya,
Yeah, hello.
I really want to commend you on that because it was really necessary, and you see how necessary it is now. You see a lot of the traffic coming through there. It's even more so. So, just the other day, just riding.
Having that signage helps as well, not just the crosswalks, but just that bright fluorescence. So yeah, it feels good. I feel like there have been a few concerns about the stop sign in the winter. And I understand that as a problem, but it's also at the top where there's a community, a neighborhood, and I have had multiple times to sort of make that turn onto Washington Street.
Right.
And with a child in the car, very concerned about being T-boned. And so I just, again, thinking about the neighborhood as well and the families that are there. So yeah. And
I think it's very needed.
So I know Nick is busy with that. They've been doing such an incredible job. I've been very honored to be working with this team and going to staff meetings with them and getting to know them all and being available to them. So until Nick comes back, I also wanted to, it looks like he's going to.
Okay, he's back.
But I don't want to interrupt you if you want to say something else.
No, that's fine. You keep going. I don't want to change the course of the conversation.
Sorry, I just have to, when the head lifeguard calls, I have to answer, but it wasn't an emergency. But I did forget what we were talking about. What issue were we on there?
Are we heading into the fall?
Oh yeah, beach is open till the 31st. And then basically there won't be any programming offered for 2 to 3 weeks, and we'll be trying to start all of our fall programming on the 21st of September, which kind of lines up with part of the school schedule. There's a chance that there will be some teen evening hours, just drop in at the youth center, just to make sure, like always, that we're keeping kids off the street. But otherwise, there won't be any programming offered until the 21st after we end those at the end of August. So we'll talk more about fall programming at the next meeting because a lot of that's still being developed. But it's looking like to try to meet all of the kind of COVID requirements. We're going to be doing a lot of work on the youth center and doing some renovations on the all-purpose room to be able to have separate spaces to keep, defined, structured, smaller groups together. And we're probably going to be trying to utilize Oakdale more throughout the year. and to have another space there where we can offer more programming, both outdoor and indoor in the beach house, and doing some work on the beach house to get that ready. So that's kind of an exciting new development that I'll give you guys some more updates on next month. But that's really the basics of what I wanted to go over. I realize there's typically some questions, so I'll leave some time. I always like to go back to Maya and also Peter Frank and anybody else is on who can just remind me if I'm not forgetting anything else important, that because there's so much going on, a couple things slip my mind, but I don't know if Maya or Peter, if you guys have anything else of significance to mention.
Well, I do want to mention that also this summer we've been able to pull together an incredible staff that has made this all possible. So augmenting the staff that we already had at the youth center, you know, and how they have just brought in incredible skills that they have already been using in the community for years, and who have grown up as young people in this community, who are now coming back as adults and serving the community in a way that's quite extraordinary.
Yeah, and to go a little further on that, I think that I can really confidently say that for the first time in the 4 years that I've been here, we have a core staff, and Maya and I just came from a staff meeting before this meeting that really is a staff that I think can form the kind of the core foundation of the youth department moving forward. I mean, we've been pushing a lot to get the right people, to find the right people. And, you know, I think we really have it now. And I'm really excited at the staff we have there. It's an amazing group of people. Again, very diverse. And I think we have the skill set and the basic everything that we're going to need to move forward. And so that's a really exciting thing. To be at that place and to have those people and to be in the room planning the future of the youth department with those people. And so it's a great place that we're in. And so I think you're absolutely right. Thanks for bringing that up, Maya. Tom, go ahead.
Yeah, Nick, I'm just wondering, have you met with the Dukes about possible grants to apply for?
We just did an application, I think, through Michael Shemidas and the Dukes for a census, for the ambassadors to do some census work. And I actually just got a text during this meeting that we didn't get that. But no, we haven't met with the Dukes.
Okay.
Were they going to reach out to people, or is there a process to reach out to them?
Either way, they did. I thought they were reaching out, but there is a process. Calvin knows about it as well. So yeah, if you could start thinking, you know, go through the CFA and whatever else, and see if you can come up with anything you'd like to see for the youth department.
Absolutely, that would be great.
Everything's been all the deadlines have been extended. I mean, there's no super rush, but it will come soon.
Okay.
Thank you, Tom.
Nick, I had a question about the food service program.
Sorry, can you speak a little louder, Calvin?
Sure. I had a question about the food service program. And
yes.
And I know you mentioned that you'd be willing to collaborate with other organizations. And so I was just inquiring, what would the ask be of those other organizations?
So the hardest thing for us right now is the capacity, is staffing it. And, you know, this is a program that we've been doing now in different iterations for 4 months, I guess. And so it's we've got it down, and we can, you know, we're driving to Latham, we're getting food, we're bringing it back, we're handing it out, setting up tables, 8 or 9 people distributing and helping organize. And so I think part of it would be looking for another organization who has some kind of staffing or volunteer capacity to help run that. And then always mean Friends of Hudson Youth raised an enormous amount of money incredibly quickly to pay for these really high food costs and to help do that. But to make it happen long term, there would need to be funding for for the long-term food costs. And for at least, even if there was a lot of volunteers helping out, there would need to be regular core staff, paid people, because there is a lot of driving and there's a lot of facilitating and administrative work to do that. So I think part of what we talked about in our staff meeting tonight was trying to bring some guided structure to the food program, so that looking for partners, we could actually hand over a booklet of how the program runs, what it takes, what it costs, and what's needed, so that we could try to actually search for people who could help us with that. And so I would say, if you have parties who might be interested, let's talk and look at what could happen. And over the next couple of weeks, we're going to be working specifically on that, on having it dialed into a program that we can really show what exactly the needs are.
Great. Sounds good. Thank you, Nick.
But yeah, that would be great. I'd love to talk to you more about that.
All right, definitely.
Thank you.
Any other questions? No? Comments? Anything? Anybody want to discuss anything else pertaining to the seniors or the youth? All right, well.
Can I make a comment? I just want to say, Nick, that what you've done over the summer is beyond amazing to me. And Vanessa and your team, as someone who has organized youth things for a long time, I couldn't believe they got all that done, what they did, and the variety and all the locations, and just, it takes a young person, from my mind, to be able to pull all that together, and everybody did such a great job. And I think it's so interesting in this pandemic that you're seeing people using Oakdale, and it's a different time, but the positive of it now is people are appreciating what we do have here in our little city. So congratulations to you, and kudos, really.
Thank you, Kathy. That means a lot coming from you and all of your experience. And I mean, I'll just take a quick second to go further, because Vanessa has done such an amazing job. And we brought on a new person, Tia Begg, who some of you may know from her work in the community from years past. She graduated from college, moved back, jumped right in, and she's been helping with all of that programming. We pulled on Jabeen Ahmed in the spring. She ran the entire ambassador program, which has never been done before. It was amazing. Shaheem, who's on this call as our tech person, also along with Nikki Janito and Isaiah Hurd, really ran the youth center over the summer, which again has never happened before, but they did an amazing job. Jared Neal, one of our longtime kind of rec attendants, stepped up and not only became a lifeguard, but impressed the trainers so much that they advised us to make him one of the waterfront directors on his first year being a lifeguard. And so now we have one of our core staff actually as one of our lifeguard directors, which is amazing. We've never had that before. And from Juan, who takes care of everything, Juan Sanchez, here, to the workforce, it's just been such an amazing group of people. And I can't say how much, like, the employees at the youth department right now are an amazing crew. And I've just got to thank all of them, because it's been incredible to see. And our new secretary, Carly Birchfield, just jumped in and hit the ground running, and has just picked up what's been such a difficult job historically in the youth department, getting all that administrative work together so quickly. It's been really great. So I'll end with that, because I'm just so thankful and so grateful for our amazing staff.
Yeah, no, we really do thank you guys. And it's just been an amazing collaborated effort on everybody's part. I'm honored to be part of it and to see it, just in real time. So it's really amazing work.
Me too.
Anybody else don't have anything? We're gonna end it here. So, motion to adjourn.
Make a motion to adjourn.
Thank you, Malachi. Thanks, everyone.
Thank you, everybody.
All right, everybody. Have a
See
blessed
you next
night.
month.
Yeah.